You think that's pretty crazy? Snow in the middle of March, and in today's video we're going to be getting into a few topics talking about things that people have really drawn to be negative but actually have some positives to them when it comes down to living here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So hang tight, grab your pen and your pad, and let's get into today's video. Yo, look, I know that I talk about Albuquerque like it's almost some type of holy grail. Truth of the matter is, guys, is that there's still a ton of people that are ditching the whole idea about moving down here to the Southwest just because they have other options to choose from. And some of the conversations that I had with these people that have actually just kind of like cut Albuquerque out of their list let me know that there's a few reasons that really kind of pointed them in a different direction. And in today's video we're going to be getting into some of these topics, and after doing some discovery I kind of figured out that they're really not that big of a problem. So they actually have some positive things to them. So make sure that you write down as much information as you can. And I know that today is probably not the most beautiful day. There's snow on everything. It didn't really cover the ground that much, but my truck is covered in snow. Rooftops are covered in snow, and it's pretty cold out here. I'm sure that you can see my breath. But again, like I always tell you guys, I want to make sure that I can get these videos to you because it's so important that we stay connected, stay in touch. And if this is your first time tuning into the Living in Albuquerque channel, guys, welcome. My name is Eli. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys never miss out on any videos, because I am dropping videos like this one here every week talking about what this beautiful state of New Mexico has to offer. Now, aside from doing these videos, guys, as much as I love getting in front of the camera and chatting with you guys for a little bit, I would also love to help you out with your real estate needs, because as licensed brokers here in the state of New Mexico, me and my team are ready to help you guys with that move. And if you guys are planning on moving down to New Mexico within the next month, within the next year, whenever, guys, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. Feel free to reach out at any time because I'd love to help. Kind of ironic that the first topic on this video, guys, is going to be the weather. Now, a lot of people aren't moving down here to New Mexico or to Albuquerque because of our weather. Some people complain that it's too hot, it's too dry, it's not humid enough. Like, I don't know what people want, because some of these complaints are actually pretty positive. Now, on the verge of too hot, like on average, the temperatures here in the summertime are around the 90s. It does get over 100, some of these other days throughout the summertime, but really it doesn't go more than like 2 to 3 days over 100 degrees in the things that I've seen over the past couple of years. And it's actually getting warmer, of course, right? Snow in the middle of March, like climate change is real, guys. Like I don't know how much more real it can get. But another thing that I've heard with the low humidity thing is that people just tend to think that it's super dry here, and it does get super dry. There is some days where it's just like, I wish it would rain, and most people have humidifiers inside of their houses. But if you are living in like a Houston, and you know that 80 degrees with the humidity that they have there feels like 110, you would be thankful that you've lived in our climate. High desert climate. It's warm during the day when the sun is out, and then during the morning and the nighttime it is cool. So like summer nights, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the Lil Rob song, but summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down. But man, it's totally that, right? You get to be outside more often during the summertime because that's when it cools down. You're going out and enjoying a nice restaurant that has outdoor seating, or you're enjoying a nice outdoor patio dinner at your own house. Like, there's so much that New Mexico has to offer in terms of like just our good weather that allows you to enjoy being outside more. Mostly every building that you're going to go into, every house either has refrigerated air or a decent air conditioning system. So do summers get hot here? Yes, but they're totally manageable and bearable, unlike cities like Houston and Dallas and Arizona, where you don't even want to go outside during the summertime. I'm really hoping that the sun comes out so I can go for a run. But this next topic that I'm going to be talking about, and you're going to see me switching hands because it's cold out here, is going to be the limited public transportation. Now, this one can go either way, right? Because we do have a pretty robust public transportation system. Now, it's not going to be like Chicago or New York, where they just got subways and buses and all this stuff that really you don't need to own a car over there. because everything is super close. Here in Albuquerque, just to paint the picture, everything is pretty far spread out, right? Albuquerque is a big enough city to where owning a car makes sense. Now, some people just don't see that ideal because of where they're coming from, like these major cities where living is so expensive. Down here, I think even the public transportation is free, guys, so it's going to be super affordable to actually own a car here. So if you are on the fence about buying a car, not buying a car, this is what I'll say. Yes, it's going to be super important to have a car. I totally recommend it because it's going to make your life way easier. Like, things are way more accessible through car than through the public transportation system here. Now, the ART bus, the Rail Runner, and the ABQ ride are great. They really get the job done for a lot of people, especially if you are working kind of in that central area of downtown, Nob Hill, or Uptown. The public transportation system works great. I used to use it a ton when I was, a teenager, going to the skate parks and just going to the mall or going to other places in the city with my friends. And we really enjoyed riding the bus system back, in 2007, 2006. So it's super easy to navigate. Now, also along the public transportation system, it's not going to be like actual vehicles. It's going to be the walking paths and the bike paths that are very well taken care of. Like, Albuquerque is super pro ride your bike and walk everywhere. It's crazy to me. I don't know if there's an actual definition for that, but what I can say is that Albuquerque alone has over 400 miles of bike paths. Now, I know what you're thinking, and the third topic is surrounded around the whole growth and job opportunities thing. You've heard me talk plenty about Netflix moving down here, creating thousands of jobs for people. The healthcare industry is really booming here. And then, of course, tech, Amazon, Facebook, Sandia Labs, all those guys are really blowing up, New Mexico, because for one, it's still super affordable to run a business down here. But a lot of people see that it's limited in the job opportunities. Now, what does that mean? Where's the cap and all that stuff? Well, if you're looking to progress super fast, I'm sure that it can happen. But in most cases, it's going to take some time. Now, there isn't going to be all these other cities have, Houston, Dallas, Denver, Los Angeles, all these major players that are just within these cities really bringing an overabundance of opportunities. And of course, with that overabundance and overpopulation, you see that it's actually a bad thing because you're competing with hundreds of people for one job. Down here, even though it's quite limited in some areas, you are going to find that the competition isn't as big. You might be competing against 2 to 3 other people for a pretty decent paying job. Now, places like Sandia Labs, Los Alamos, Netflix, Amazon, Facebook, UNM, CNM, Presbyterian, you name it. We have so many really successful companies here that are providing great job opportunities for people here locally that a lot of people actually miss it. And even the government agencies, the state and the city of Albuquerque provide great opportunities for people. And believe it or not, not a lot of people know this. And when I talk to people about this, the city of Albuquerque still offers a pension, and hopefully that doesn't go anywhere. But as far as I know, people are really gunning for those jobs because they want to work for the next 25, 30 years and retire. I know somebody that is as old as me, and they're going to be retiring here within the next 3 years. So what is that? They're going to be retiring when they're, 35, 36? That's crazy. They started working for the city of Albuquerque in their teenage years, and they're not even halfway through their life, a quarter way through their life, and they're already going to retire. It's pretty insane. Those opportunities are here. So if you got kiddos and you want to provide them a safety net, because I know as a parent that we want to make sure that our kids are taken care of, and you want them to have a pretty decent job with a kind of a good work-life balance, the opportunities are here. One drawback that I've seen that I've actually told people that it's actually not a negative thing, and I've kind of explained it to them and they've seen it after the explanation, but is going to be the lower pay. Some salaries here are not going to be as big as ones in Dallas or Denver or Houston, any other major city that you're coming in. But really what offsets that is the cost of living here, right? When you're making over $100,000 a year and the cost of living is outrageous, are you really making six figures, or are you making like below that because most of your pay is going towards bills and just living day to day? When the average cost of living here is like 6% lower than the national average and 10 to 20% lower than most major cities, you are making way more money in the whole grand scheme of things. So if you want to have that conversation, you want to go back and forth to see what the average home price will cost you down here in comparison to a city that you live in right now. Again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. I love to chat with you guys. Feel free to call or text me at any time. Oh man, we're gonna have to cut this video short today, guys, because it is cold out here, but it's nice because it's peaceful, it's quiet. Like, I can hear birds chirping. It sounds like a dog. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's actually a pigeon that has been just cooing the whole video. It's kind of annoying. But one topic that I recently just was like, that's interesting. One topic that somebody brought up to me is the perception of Albuquerque being a small city. Now, yes, that's kind of true, but we're actually a big city with a small town charm, if that makes sense. And let me explain it, okay? I know it's kind of confusing, and I might have just confused you, but here's the reality. Albuquerque has every big amenity that you could ever want. Costco's, Targets, Sam's Clubs, hospitals, attractions, like amusement parks. Like, we really have everything that a big city has. People just tend to kind of just dismiss it because we aren't a big city. And the cool thing about it is that we haven't lost that small town charm. So when you go to places like Old Town, Los Ranchos, North Valley, the South Valley, even down to like the foothills over there, guys, you're always gonna feel that small town vibe. Like, the communities are super tight knit here. Everybody's close with one another. Everybody watches out for everybody. And even in like our little neighborhood here, like, most of the neighbors know each other and we watch out for each other. Like, my neighbor left his garage open yesterday and I called him right away and it was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And my neighbor down the street the other day called me and asked me if I needed help with working on my truck. Like, this is like super awesome, and he has no business. He's like 80 years old. Like, he's way older than me, and he was still kind enough to offer that helping hand. So when it comes down to small town charm, that's what I mean. Like, people here are really about the community. People are really about helping one another. I mean, if you want to like a very visual sense, like, Old Town is like pretty much very well kept. It feels untouched. Like, a lot of those old remnants are still there. You go down to neighborhoods like Barrelas, like, it's still very alive, guys. Even though that we've grown so much within the past couple of years, the last 10 years actually, and gotten so much more amenities and gotten so much bigger, we still don't seem to lose that touch of being a small town with, this vibe where you really have to come down here to feel it, guys. I wish I could explain it to you, but once you come down here, you spend a little time here, you'll actually start to resonate with what I'm saying, and you'll be like, I get it, Eli, I get it. Alrighty, guys, it's starting to snow again. Like, the clouds are coming in. It is freezing cold, and I think it's about time we cut inside. But I hope this video helps you guys with understanding some of the drawbacks and some of the quote-unquote negative things people have said about relocating to Albuquerque, because they're really not negatives. Like, they're just painted that way when people talk about them. Like, low humidity here is actually pretty nice. The temperatures are super bearable. We don't have a massive population, so like job growth and job opportunity is like abundant. The public transportation here is actually pretty decent, and I mean, you can virtually bike anywhere at this point. Like, I would totally bike to work, and I live like 10 minutes away from downtown. And then of course, like, that small town vibe, like, who doesn't want that? And who doesn't want to have that small town vibe and slow pace of living with Costco like 15 minutes away from you, and like the mountains like less than 20 minutes away, and all of this stuff? I hope it makes sense. I hope that this video helps you in reaching out to me and having a deeper conversation about what you're actually looking for and how Albuquerque can fit that, right? How Albuquerque can actually fit your reasons of leaving some of these major states that probably just don't fit what you're looking for anymore, like deep down inside, like getting a little hippie with it. But if you want to have a deeper conversation, if you want to know a little bit more about what areas actually will fit your wants and needs, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. Feel free to reach out at any time because I'd really love to help you guys out, whether you're looking to purchase in the next 6 months or you're just wanting to rent before you actually buy. I love to help you out with that. So feel free to reach out. It's coming down now, guys. It's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna wake up my kiddos just to show them because they get excited over the snow. I don't know oh my gosh. I don't know what it is about the snow, but I hope you guys have a great week. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.